The same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra exit. I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule.
This is a Sunday edition. Understand? We are here to tell you the tools of Islamization. Today is a Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on your time zone. Today is 27th day of month of April. Asimunkonye chiri yazere. Obukwale nwo nke ichiri zero ụmụnna dị very very important mkpa. So biko, as you are joining us, keep sharing so others will join. You are watching directly from Okute BTV, Ebola Bottle, Lawan, this morning edition. So we come to expose some certain things. La bagare panene na igbo, you know. Obo ehunkwala mere ka egbo. Makala obo le ehunde e ma bia ni bia gbo ya. So we are here to educate our people what is going on. Understand? Kayen gare no na mmiri ncha aba anya n'anya. So I want to start with, first of all, I greet our great leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Hamadike, one of Biafra land. I greet also my Prime Minister, Mazen Simon Wanjoko. I greet our Honorable APM, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkenwoke Jimeni Yolu. And I greet the Eziokwu Obondo one Lala Biafra, Bo Mazi Sone Aparawa, the #1 Minister of Information in the whole world. The only man that stands on the truth, no matter what it takes. So I salute you all. And I salute every Biafran's media warriors. I salute everybody that working assiduously to make sure that we liberate ourselves from these shackles of the enemies of Biafra, from these shackles of the enemy of freedom. Abraham eba ka ntoku mmanu Abraham ka mgbo ya mkpụmkpụmkpụ. So ka anyị nwee ikele agaliru. Ị ga-afụ breaking news dị gị la iru here, written by this Alimatu, aka Ngozi Orabeze. Also, greetings Biafrans. Please use this account for our next upcoming USB in the Nigeria 40 state of 40 state fundraising coming Saturday. Alihi Male. Malam, the account on your Fidelity Bank, Fidelity Trust Bank. Okay, the name in the account is Ahamadu Malam. The Fidelity Bank on your name 655-727-5253. You can check it in your app. You will see that the name you see appearing here is the name that is in this Fidelity account. My question, Aboro, when did we start? Did Fulani jihadists start supporting or being a Biafran? Because Biafra anyị na-achọ Biafra nke ndị Fulani. Ịma na ile ekwu na Ngozi bụ onye Fulani, Ngozi bụ onye Fulani. Ọ na-efe ndị mmadụ pakapaka. La mmadụ na-asụ Igbo emegiri onye Igbo. The last Igbo carry does not mean that I'm an Igbo woman. I want to expose this woman so people should open their eyes. Know who this Alematu, aka Ngozi Orabeze. Obra Bani Lafia Ngozi Orabeze. But Afanea Bo Ezobika. Umunia, senior brother Laza Ezobika. Kebe Orabeze si whereby la family in Debo Ezobika. First of all, the first husband of Ngozi or Alematu abụghọ onye Igbo. Nke o ji abụ onye ofe mmanụ. Nke o ji abụ onye Nyeme. Ọ bụ onye Fulani. Second husband ya bụ onye Fulani. Now, every account all enye gị. Onye na handle those accounts bụ onye Fulani. And this account being handled by DSS official. Ndị na handle account a bụ DSS officials. Bonded in charge of this account. So, Keka onye sege lola chorogi Biafra, say where the Fulani, the worst enemy of Biafrans, they be the head of affair of Biafra liberation. Odege konyahu la open ni lobi. I want to open your eyes. Like yakwere, like ekweho. Abiaho meba kamala ge basaga. I'm telling you nothing but the truth. Understand? So open your eyes, Biafrans. Alematu aka Ngozi Orabeze. Ade Asho Biafra. In your about the contract on with the Nigeria government is to make sure no Burundebani. Yamen oje banne ni just draw whistle. Emenya whistle la signify. The most people they use whistle bunde Fulani. And obole for whistle mobile where maka inye le bute nebo virus. Maka nile jejide that whistle ga one after the other. Understand? I want to just educate you before we start our major program this morning. At least I have like 14 minutes or so to do this program. Alematu Mohammed, aka Ngozi Orabeze, is not a Biafran and is not fighting for Biafran. Ego bigo Ngozi Orabeze, ko wure busie umu Biafra. Again, from news online, fake news, Nigeria media circulate that they have agreed to redemption Mazi Simon Ekpan from Finland into Nigeria. Gente, don't be deceived. We are not moved by all this fake Nigeria propaganda. Number one, Mazi Simon Ekpan is not a Nigerian. And when he want to deal with Nigeria, understand? He's not a Nigerian citizen. He thought everything that belong to Nigeria. 2019, he all docasere international passport to make sure Nigeria. So he rejected Nigeria many years ago. So what make me in Nigeria? What will make to redemption him to Nigeria is undoable. Not in this world, not in the world to come. It will never happen. So forget this fake news be circulated by Nigerian media. Let our eyes be on the rising sun. Let every Biafra get up to fight for our liberation. Biafra is our life and our last hope. We are not moved by any propaganda be circulated by any individual. So here I am warning our people the tools of Islamization against Biafrans. And they remember that Biafra Liberation Army is in charge of Biafra land, like it or not. Wulielu Woda. Alimatu Mohammed nyere nne akaụntụ ndị Fulani. Ahamadu Malam enwe onye Biafra laza Ahamadu Malam biko ihe ọ bụ hafa ndị Fulani ọ bụ hafa ndị Fulani ka ịlafụla ihu skrim a biko ụmụnne m ndị Igbo bụ nne m ya, don't be deceived by this Fulani woman ezitere ka ọ bịa gbusie ndebe anyị. Unu ekwela, ọpụkwa onye kwere chi ekwere. Ọ bụrụ na after hearing this exposition you go back and do otherwise, ihe ọbụla mere gị, Chineke bile n'igwe, Chukwu ndị mbụ na ndị egedegede mbụ ndị ichie ndị ọzọ ga-agbara m aka ebe apụtakwa m ebe a tie mkpu n'oke olu were sị unu biko onye akwela onye jela. Ngozi Orabaeze is not working for Biafra liberation. He's an agent. He's the eyes of Nigeria terrorist government in Biafra liberation. But she failed woefully. I give a double salute to our three wise men for standing gidigban to make sure that the gate is closed, that no intruder will enter in or come out. That means so whenever I see the three wise men, I honor them so much. Nke a bụ our APM Maazị Ogechukwu Nkere, nwoke ji aji mere ihe olu, nwoke mara mma. Maka achọba ihe a ji agba nwa mara mma, asị ala iyiri nne gị, maka ọ otu esi akọ nwa mara mma ọ bụ. Lekele our eziokwu bụ the information minister, Maazị Soni Akparawa. Thank you very much. You people save the lives of Biafrans. Ekele doro. Lekere akwa ọkụkọ tiwara aka nke izizi ala Biafra, Pastor Vam. Thank you very much. Unu bụ ndị ọma Biafra ga-eje mba. Without you guys, anyị amaghị ebe anyị ga-anọ na. Ewere ọ bụrụ na anyị ncha kwekọtara, in fact, ọ bụla three of you agree to the commandment of this Fulani woman, Alimatu, by now, Nigeria terrorist government nwere ike na akọnkala Biafra land. But that kind thing, you people stand gidigban, say, over your dead body will this happen. And in the thank you very much, Biafrans. So, Biko, Onyakwela Ngozi is not fighting for Biafra. Ngozi is fighting to make sure that Biafra land is Islamized. That's why every account, all in the charge, in charge of this account, this Hamadu is a DSS man, is a DSS. Go and research. Whatever I'm telling you, I have the fact and figure. This Alamadu Malam is a DSS man. Check it very well. So, Biko, make sure they share this message to make others understand what is about to come. And this way, so 5 million ways so slowly putting. Please, where check in the village, ya je ugwu outside get here. A program at that or Mama Biafra invite. Maybe any them we still restream that program. Then to you to see, to hear by yourself. This whistle, or whistle can need a log against our enemy, or ever can need because Egon to a Ngozi, go run the whistle. So you might tell I go tell you a whistle. Mother on the whistle, you will to Fulani. You may whistle, he blow whistle, or ejecata Nigeria army or police as such that whistle la bag. iburugo onye nwụrụ anwụ iburugo onye nwụrụ anwụ maka gịnị eji ya ngozi na-eweta as a signal that this is the people I'm talking about. Of ndị afọgo la anyị bụ anwụ anwụ, so they are doing anything humanly possible with this halimatu ka egbusi anyị. Biko nna afọla ihe mere la nke ọ kpọrọ gọvanọ ya la ke steeti ya ịghọtago eje demolish ụlọ nwoke mmadụ duto ngịnị agwara ha don't show your face, big secret, be doing what anyị chọrọ Biafra nke tala nke echi, but anyị achọghị iti life ndị be anyị in danger. People nwere right iti ihu ha lụọ ihu ọkụ bụ ndị ụmụnne anyị ndị nọ European country mere otu anọ Africa country here, then let me expect ka ihu m le-eshi ole ọkụ. Africa ịma dị lawless, ọ bụdịla Africa ka e buru Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, and we will still play the this thing here, the update from Washington DC. So give me on your ears and make sure you share this message. Anya nọ ebe a esighị nwụọ mba, anya achọghị ka ndebe anyị nwụọ, ndebe anyị nwụọ n'ebe ọ dị mma. Hapụ na mkpochi ntị ga-eduje gị aka ọnwụ. Mkpochi ntị ga-edinye gị aka ọnwụ, nwadị onye anyị sị ka ọ nwụọ. Ihe anyị bụ ịzụ ebe a bụ ndụ. Alimatu bịara ka o gbusie ndebe anyị, mana anyị jụrụ ajụ na nke ikpeazụ a. Lee na akaụntụ o nyere nna, ị bụrụ nwa Biafra, oke Maazị Nnamdi Kanu onye go gị akaụntụ afta ka iji ekwu ụgwọ ife afọ onye Yoruba afọ onye Hausa ebe ahụ. Maazị Simon Ekpa na onyere gị akaụntụ iji ekwu ụgwọ afta ka iji ekwu ụgwọ efu afta ka itiri gị akaụntụ onye afọ onye gị chi Onugbo, afọ onye Hausa, afọ onye Fulani, afọ onye Yoruba. Bikonu nke a bụkwa eziokwu dịrị onwe ya. Ụkwara okpoko gburu ọkwa ntị shiri ya, ebekwala m ka m ji ebe ịmụ na ebebe nwaanyị afọ ime ọ dịzie ka ngere na gburu ya. Mgbanụnụ ekwuole m ka m na-ekwu ka anyị gaa na program anyị nwere this morning, ka anyị na-aga n'iru, because we are here to expose many things. You know, we are saying about the tools of Islamization, and that
ọkwụ bọsị chi bụ anụ ọzọ.
let's
ọ ga-adị mma onye ọmalete wee tụgbọ ntị ọfụma la tekobo na alepụla nke okwu ọzọ lele ya. Biko wepụ sentiment, achọrọ m ka ewepụ sentiment mepe ntị gị ọfụma ka ịnụ ihe nwanne anyị nwoke ekwurula ọnụ, den cheki ya maọbụ eziokwu ka o na-ekwu maọbụ asị ka ọ la-atụ, den were ntị gị mere oche ka anyị na-aga n'iru.
And politics, Christianity and slave trade was brother and sister in day. This is Christianity and politics, they be like coin. We're back and front of a coin. As well Christianity and slave trade.
Bluetooth mode.
Christianity helps slave trade helps Christianity to grow. So these people now don't see them since early morning say this is what happened within Europeans take whole Africa down. Because if you begin to like a coin, we're back and front of a coin, as well Christianity and slave trade. The two help each other. Christianity helps slave trade helps Christianity to grow. So these people now don't see them since early morning say this is what happened within European.
Please, my people, don't be offended. We are not here to criticize any religion, but we are here to expose things that will put our people to know the tools of Islamization. Understand? We are not condemning any religion, but any religion I believe belongs to. Make sure you go there with your number 6. Don't do anything out of foolishness, out of cowardness. Nobody use your number 6. Understand? Madebage 1 + 1, law 4 or law 3. Because calculate by yourself, take the shot in your language. La mad the white, second law black. The shot in your lamp. So we are here to educate you. We don't want you to fall victim. Understand? Because Landege use back for Makala. Last time I gave you the characteristics of Islam, the tools of Islamization. These are the tools of Islamization. In case you only missed the last program, this is your president, this is your senators, the lawmakers. These your religion leaders, the bishop, the reverend father, the pope, the pastor, your daddy GO, understand, your prophet and the prophetess. These are the tools of Islamization. So upon that they use to Islamize us. Understand? So open your eyes. I don't want you to fall victim of Islamization. Make 100 also they use all these people. You know why? They love money more than they love you. Why you see everybody opening here and there is because of money. Give an African man money, he will tell you that the devil is more holier than God. So Biko, let's hear from our brother Tenkobo. Keno, after you listen to the program, you can go and do your own research and come out with the truth. So Biko, have a sentiment. Can I focus on the truth? Let's listen to Tenkobo. Before I like you.
Because if you go down history, you begin to see that it was Roman Catholic Church that approved, aided slave trade by Pope Nicholas V. Pope Nicholas V of Roman Catholic Church, and I am be the person who tell King Alfonso of Portugal, who was a slave trader, will go right to Rome, tell and say he want to go to Africa to buy slaves. But say no one to go alone. Pope was the person who gave King Alfonso certificate when they enter convent. If they enter convent, they will give them missionaries when they come Africa to come buy slaves. Now Roman Catholic. John Hawkins of Britain, who was a slave trader. When John Hawkins go do slave trade, when John Hawkins go do slave trade, get money. Go show Queen Elizabeth. As is, Queen asked her, how did you make this money? Say, made it through slave trade. Queen became interested in the business. Come go for her part church, Church of England, otherwise known as Anglican Church. She go Church of England, go carry missionaries, bring sheep, carry missionary from my papa church, come bring sheep, what they call Jesus of Lubeck.
JESUS,
Lubeck. Carry and give, John Hawkins, so let them go Africa, go buy slaves. If you reach Africa, tell Africans that there is a man called Jesus who died for your sin and has gone to heaven to prepare a place for you. So do not worry about the things of your land. Focus in the one in heaven, where it will be easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man entering the kingdom of God. The ship come, they landed in. When the ship battered the sail, John Hawkins and the missionaries come and begin to preach to people of Salem. There is a man, there is a place, better for sale. And then the people began to be interested. Interested when they come inside the ship. See, that name where they come, the name, they send this ship because they are Jesus of Lubeck. Over 300 ceremonies entered the ship to go hear more about this heaven and this Jesus. That was the end of them. A man called Bartholomew de las Cascas. Bartholomew de las Cascas, Anglican reverend. When Christopher Columbus killed, because he wanted to conquer America, he killed too many indigenous people of America. It was Bartholomew de las Cascas who gave approval to the slave trade masters to go to Africa and buy slaves to go and fill up America so that they will see people who will from American land. Bartholomew de las Cascas is a Christian, a reverend. So why are these reverends and these Christians approving slave trade if Christianity is?
They are intertwined, criminal lifestyle.
They intertwined in English. So if Christianity is life, then why are these people approving evil without complaint?
Thank you very much. Please share this program. Very, very important to us to educate our people. Then know where our problem is coming from ịmụna asụla m onye amaghị ebe mmiri nọ bido ịmụ ya ama amakwa ebe nọrọ.
And ordering his immediate release, and even went further to say there are no court in this country that should try men on this particular issue.
Yeah.
Why? Because he was kidnapped.
Yeah.
You can't go around the whole world kidnapping your dissidents and dragging them back to your country and put them in prison. So today,
Please like and share this program. Very, very important to us to liberate ourselves. We must be disciplined. So this one of the Biafran veterans that went to U.S. Washington D.C. understand to state the case of our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You know, makala ọgbajule dọrọ oruole mgbe onye ọbụla ga-ekuli because ọbụla mụ na gị bụ onye Igbo ga-anọ na-afụ ihe ele-eme Maazị Nnamdi Kanu then feel I don't care style. I don't care bụkwa onye omebedela mbụ understand maka o mee gị ị ga-amata la ọ na-eme. So let us stop doing this I don't care style and rise up as a people and fight our common enemy, which is a Nigeria government. Under our common enemy. So every Igbo man, every Biafran need to rise up and stand shoulder to shoulder with the Biafran Republic government in exile to stop to support this liberation move that we are making. Understand? Maka ịzọta Biafra bụghọkwa everybody's pull ọkụ. Then akwụkwọ anyị niile ma ndị ọjọọ ma ndị ọma ma ndị sabo ma ndị oshi ma ndị anyị ọkwa anyị nchaja nwa ala Biafra. Ya mere onye ọbụla ga-eso were kwado nnwere onwe nke ala Biafra. Nke a bụ eziokwu la abụghị ihe akụrụ mmiri. So it's your own obligation, ọ bụ okele ọrụ dịrị gị ịkwado nnwere onwe nke Biafra. So ide emere ka ị mere m ya and adị m emekwana ya ka m mere gị ya. Ihe anyị na-eme bụ ka anyị mara nke bụ eziokwu wee gwa ndebe anyị eziokwu ka anyị ghara ijela atụrụ ndebe anyị asị. Nye ọbụla bụ ihe ọjọọ ka anyị kpee ihe ọjọọ. E nwere egwu agụrụ mgbe ahụ anyị na-etolite nwaanyị ahụ gụ ọ sị kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ akpọla ajọ omume ihe ọma kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ kpọọ ihe ọjọọ ihe ọjọọ akpọla ajọ omume ihe ọma Imakwere because of what you are benefiting from Nigeria government today. Then in Noreba Ndebe Nalam. Oh no, the last time Mr. Obi Kubana, all this e-money them, all these Obi Kubana chief priests, and as I feel I don't care style or what in your that their money will save them. Everywhere come money get save. I'm Afro in this man Soludo Mereto innocent motors. Innocent vehicle. Even the company nothing destroyer about many cars. About singing a lot of weirdo. Understand? Or borrow. Mba, ega nobo. Lonyi Igbo le megide onye Igbo. Ọ bụ onye Igbo imegide onye Igbo aka iji were sị ka anyị nwere onwe anyị. Maka anyị mana anyị nwere onwe anyị. All this nonsense ama happen. Maka na ọ bụrụ na innocent fight say laugh show fight Soludo now. Soludo is in Abuja as a governor. Wetrania and Deja being moved. Then Okugaribe Nos in 19. In ever hope was of them a go in us in moto billions, 1 billions, but dollar cap journal. Now hope was of them actually the dog. So Ochoroka, the business of that our brother grew, Kobo ka business crash ya. Ufu Odogwa Imronalibo. So ya mere na agba ndebe anyị support this movement. Ọ bụrụ Igbo nwere ọnụ, Igbo bụ odogwu, Igbo bụ Igbo ga-support nwere onwe under 1 month anyị esila obodo apụọ. But ngene ha na-efeel ọ bụ onye rigoro akpọ si agbajie. Mana la ego ọbụla ị na-enweta na Nigeria bụ opportunity. But anyị chọrọ country anyị ga-enwe la ego ọbụla anyị ga-enweta abụghị by opportunity. Ịghọtago ego ọbụla anyị ga-enweta bụ otu o si kwesịrị anyị ga-enweta ya. Ọ dị kind country anyị chọrọ. So biko ka nna ayọ ndebe anyị Igbo na-ege ntị Igbo nọ n'ori ọnọdụ Igbo ka onye ọbụla gee ntị na ihe anyị na-achọ bụ nwere onwe. Ịghọtago anyị na-achọ nwere onwe na-akụghị mmiri ọbụla, nwere onwe tọrọ atọ, nwere onwe anyị ga-eji were zọpụta ndebe anyị. Biko tie aka na ije nwere onwe a, hapụ ihe ọbụla a sịrị gị, ihe ọbụla a gwara gị. Ihe achọ bụ na anyị ga-enwere onwe anyị nke tala nke echi, but ma mee ka ị gala eme otherwise, efe onye na-edu gị ejela ọkụ, i were aka gị na-eti n'ime ọkụ. Ịghọtago? E nwere ihe m mere nwa m nwoke mgbe ahụ o na-etolite. Amaghị kandụl, m nwere kandụl m ji ekpe ekpere maka mgbe ahụ abụ m ezigbo onye ekpere na ezigbo pastọ pụtara ihe. So mụ na mma ya ekpe ekpere, ya nwere ihe n'igwe, o jebebede ije den, o jee ebe a kandụl ahụ dị, laa emi aka, lee emi aka, lee emi aka, ma ya ala adọpịa, nsị ya hapịa, laa achọrọ m iti ọsị m wọtọfọ nsị ya ọkụ a ga-ere ya taa, at least ka ọ mara na ụwa bido bụọ, ịma na ajọ ọsọpụtala elu ụwa, ọma ha na ọkụ dị ụzọ labụ na enwere nke bụ nepa, nwee nke bụ rịla ọkụ. Ịghọtago? Mgbe o tibere aka ya la ọkụ ahụ, ozugbo ọkụ ahụ nwere ya cham, ọ bụghị mmadụ si ya si ebe ahụ gbapụ. So ọ bụ ihe life ndị Igbo, all life ndebe anyị Igbo, onye Igbo adịghị ekwetala mmiri na-ezo until mmiri ahụ ezuo ya ahụ. Ya mere ka anyị wepụta mentality first ya our enemy, everybody bụ onye Biafra. Ọnọdụ mgbe Eastern Governor sịla ha proscribe IPOB, ndị Fulani yuzuru ha to proscribe your people. Erofuo ịma na o kwuru n'irozo onye a gwara ele echeta, ha erofuo la ihe ahụ ha mere lọkwa against themselves, because so long as ịbụ nwa afọ Igbo, ịbụ nwa afọ Biafra, you are an IPOB, like it or not, Emmanuel CL, Emmanuel ahụ n'elu, understand? You are IPOB 100%. Kenya IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra. Whether you support the movement or whether you no support, or so long as you are living in that old eastern region called Biafra land, you are indigenous people of Biafra. So Lord Abraham or Ebo Wehebelop and Hamaho. I just
told you by United Nations, even Nigerian appeal court, the same year of 2020
program
rendered their decision on the matter, discharging Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of all charges, and ordering his immediate release, and even went further to say there is no court in this country that should try this young man on this particular issue. Why? Because he was kidnapped. You can't go around the whole world kidnapping your dissidents and dragging them back to your country and put them in prison. So today, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu remains in prison without trial. It's called persecution before trial.
Where was he captured?
Kenya.
Kenya.
Yes.
So outside the country, he was kidnapped, brought back into the country, tried by the very people who are guilty of offending him.
Exactly. So people understood exactly what you said.
Yeah.
That's why they say no court can try him. Because they knew you cannot commit an offense against an individual and turn around to sit in judgment seat to judge the same person. It's like a rapist trying or persecuting his own victim. You're the one that committed the crime. So my conversation with Bruce Fine this morning, he said I should be in a position to prosecute Nigeria for disappearance of his person and extra renditioning him back to Nigeria. Blindfolded, brought back home. That is an international crime. And Nigeria should stand on trial. Not Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
My people, make if you are doing something.
So try and share this program. Very, very important. So if don't say that it doesn't concern you. Makala innocent believe the law one near Kege use against him. Bo William Soludo. So please, let's all support freedom of Biafra. We are not here to make money. 32,000 followers, understand, following me in this page. So all the same, I am not making a dime into this blue app. I use it for our freedom. I use it for to make sure that our people will be liberated. So let us join hands. If any of us is doing the way I'm doing, I'm both by now. Media is power. You can see the way Musa is, Christopher Musa, the head of the terrorists of Nigeria, is ranting on media that IPOB is telling their people not to support Nigeria or join Nigeria army, and that make Igbo people not to be joining Nigeria army. Ifuru oziọma anyị na-agbasara agazi ụwa niile. So it's your own obligation, okele ọrụ dịrị mụ na gị, to make sure na I support region nwere onwe. Understand? Ka I support nwere onwe. This is our last push. Let's push it. Understand? This is
these American details of Igbo descent that is happening. It is for US military.
Thank you.
So I beg make you rush now. Go enjoy. And they come back with more.
Sylvester Onyia, President of American Military Veterans of Igbo Descent, Harvey. I'm here today with Rising Sons and ambassadors for self-determination. We're in the state capital to bring our concerns to the American folks that Nnamdi Kanu need to be released now. A lot of people have talked about him being unjustly incarcerated for nothing. He is not the problem of Nigeria. If anything, he's the solution to solve. Got him in the first place to release him. They have not done anything to anybody. On this note, we are reminding the world about what happened in January 2017 when inauguration of Donald Trump was celebrated in Port Harcourt, and the Nigerian government shut down and killed over 27 young youths of Igbo descent, IPOB young stars, for doing nothing but cheering up the president of their choice. This happened and nobody have been brought to account for that. We are asking that the government of the United States under Donald Trump, present president, to look into that massacre, because it was democracy that was being celebrated, and those youths were happy, rejoicing that such a good thing happened, and the military went and killed them all like chickens. We continue to ask, what is it that you're holding in Nakan for? And we believe, as a British citizen, the British government's hand is in it, because Nnamdi was discussing about the atrocities they're doing in Nigeria. They don't want any development in Nigeria. Everything that we are doing is what Nnamdi on, and everything he have said before have happened today, and it's still happening. The jihadists coming in to work for the British government and to be killing people, the Fulani herdsmen, the terrorists, and that's what they are, killing people, trying to displace indigenous people, trying to take their lands from them, land grabbing. We want the world to look into it, more especially the United States government. For one thing, if nothing is done, once these jihadists get hold of the southeast, the Christians that they're trying to exterminate, they will have hold of the sweet cool. And once that happens, the next thing will be to challenge the United States and even the Britain that is encouraging them to do their bad deeds.
So, Father, I've heard that a Nigerian government official, the Inspector General of the DSS, Department of State Services, has said, Nigerians, defend yourself from the terrorists and the bandits, end quote. So, Father, as a minister of God, do you support self-defense, especially where it may lead to the killing of your assailant?
Thank you very much, sir, for the question. And if you don't mind, let me begin by thanking you and your colleagues who have been working with us tirelessly to bring to the awareness of the world the level of injustice that is going on in Nigeria. It's getting too much. And at some point, somebody somewhere has to stand up and say, enough is enough. To your question, yes, the DSS, who in American context, we might equate to the Director of Homeland Security, is a special government official in Nigeria who is privy to top secret intelligence actually, for him to step forward and uphold Nigerians, arm and defend yourselves, tells me a couple of things. One, Nigeria is either becoming a failed state or is already a failed state. Why? Because he said that they don't have enough government manpower to defend you. The military, the police, the DSS, they don't have enough power to defend their citizens. What is the primary responsibility of the government, democratic, to defend the lives and property of the people? So, for the director of DSS to say we don't have what it takes to protect you Nigerians, to say we don't have what it takes to protect you Nigerians, it means that they are incapable. Self-defense is a natural phenomenon. If I were to pinch you now, you would play unconsciously in defense of yourself. So self-defense is a natural phenomenon. But in the context of the DSS, honestly, I wasn't expecting that we shall come to that level at which the common people are required to arm themselves and defend themselves. But guess what? It has happened. In other words, what it means is you're on your own. If anything happens to you, you have yourself to blame. Now, because self-defense is a natural phenomenon, I have never read about any law, moral law, Christian law, civil law, is against self-defense whatsoever. But you know what? Where you have a good government, you take it for granted that you are protected. And so it's not even a question of whether I support it or not, or whether it is legal or not. And then for the government to say, defend yourself. Now, we are taking self-defense to a higher level. The level of you have to do everything possible to protect your life. Your life is the most precious gift God has given you. Very, very precious. God has given us a precious life to take care of, and we should guard it judiciously. But what is happening in Nigeria? A group of bandits, terrorists, have taken it upon themselves to be massacring people at will. They carry arms all over the place, unchecked, unhindered. And they are decimating ethnic groups in the name of herders, farmers, clashing, rubbish. If there is more to it, there is a hidden agenda. And that is ethnic cleansing and religious persecution. That is what has been going on. At this point in time, I will actually go the extra mile to advocate for self-defense. And people should defend themselves. And I'm asking my people, you cannot waste the life, precious life God has given you. You must defend it. Because there's no way. It has come to that. The government has to defend itself. Defend. That's what I will tell the people. And then I will ask our brothers and sisters in sport, especially here in America, who are from Igbo descent. Igbos here in America and Europe, organize yourselves, raise money, and make sure that your respective communities at home are protected. Have a very working vigilante groups, and make sure that your communities are protected. The time to pretend that everything is okay back home in Nigeria is gone, and may never come back until that country disintegrates. Because on a failed state, the only solution to a failed state is to take care of themselves, from the local communities, maybe to the regional level. And guess what? This is exactly what Mazen Namdekan has been preaching for more than 10 to 15 years. That these people are coming. These are mercenaries sought by the Fulani hegemony to decimate the rest of the ethnic groups in Nigeria, and the government has done little or nothing to stop them. And to our greatest embarrassment, or even being fair to them, they have now told us officially that there's not much we can do.
So Bruce Fine, as a constitutional lawyer and the International Council for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and you visited Nigeria. Many client has served over 5 years in prison. What is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's current situation, and how has the current state of the Nigerian Constitution and the rule of law affected Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom?
Well, thank you for that wonderful question. We're really gathered here today to pay homage to Nnamdi Kanu and his unsurpassed courage that has given the Biafrans hope, which is what sustains the people moving forward towards justice. Nnamdi Kanu was victim of crime. The crime perpetrator was the nation of Nigeria. In 2021, he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya. He was then returned to Nigeria. He's been denied a trial for now over 4 years. I helped precipitate a ruling from the working group on arbitrary detention in Geneva, holding very unambiguously and calling for the immediate and unconditional Nnamdi Kanu because the government of Nigeria had violated 16 human rights covenants that were binding on all nations, whether they accepted them or not. The Nigerian government has flouted that decree now for Nnamdi Kanu remains in isolation. Again, he's never ever been given an opportunity for a trial. There are repeated adjournments because there is no evidence. I've examined the indictments. They're really quite hollow. They don't have any specificity of what Nnamdi Kanu did that caused any kind of violence or harm. And at present, there still is no scheduled trial date. It's a continuing criminal violation by the Nigerian government. The great irony is that the real case should be Nnamdi Kanu versus the government of Nigeria, which should be in the defendant's chair. One of the things that's very astonishing is that for hundreds of years of Anglo-American jurisprudence, there's a crime should not pay. The Nigerian government is trying to make their crime against Nnamdi Kanu pay, which is...
Bruce, what can be done to the government of Nigeria to help free Mazi Kanu?
Well, there are several precedents. One, during apartheid, South Africa was suspended from the United Nations General Assembly until Nelson Mandela was released. And there's nothing that prevents petitions now to the United Nations General Assembly insisting that Nigeria be suspended until they release Nnamdi Kanu. That's one possibility. Another would be, if you had the president issue an executive order that there are going to be no Nigerian visas to visit the U.S. until Nnamdi Kanu is released. That would impress upon all Nigerians the penalty they're paying because the government is being so lawless and tyrannical. There are other options like having an international arms embargo on Nigeria is released, having very, very high tariffs on anything sold by Nigeria until Nnamdi Kanu is released. These are financial pressures. They've been utilized in other countries in the past. It's a matter of political will, not law.
Chief, how do the attacks on the Christian community and the continued injustice faced by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu serve as a serious warning sign for all Nigerians about the state of justice and freedom in the country?
You know, that's an excellent question, and thank you for posing that. I want to tell you a short story. I've been going to the region for 20 years, and the first 10 years that I was there, it was quite peaceful, at least in the southeast. Some of this was brewing already in the north, but in the southeast and the spaces where I was at with the Igbo, quite frankly, was fairly peaceful. And then, right around the time, actually, when they put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu under chains, things blew up. And more than that, I think when people in the villages and the boroughs of southeast Nigeria look at this, they see, wow, if they can do that to somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is quite an individual, what could they do to me? What can they do to the individual citizens? It's just gone wrong. I'm telling you, and I've told her before, not from this current administration, but the previous one, that if in fact, if we don't do something about this, that place is going to implode, and we're going to end up with a pile of people coming over who will immigrate just to get out of the place. That's what's going to happen. I think the other thing that lines up where the people, situations that they're living in, many of them are Christians. 90% plus are Christian. Those who are Christian are experiencing the same kind of attack. There's a group in southeast Nigeria called Inner Society. And they're a data crunching kind of group. And they've also got a very nice legal angle where they triangulate on everything to make sure that what they print is real. And they printed a statistic where they said just recently that for a period of 9 years, there were more than 30,000, mostly Christians, either killed or extremely violated. And even since they printed that, another 9,000 have been added to the list. So you're talking about 40,000 people. When we had our 9/11, it wasn't anywhere near 40,000. Look at the reaction we had. 40,000 people being killed or violated should draw an unbelievable personal explosion. I think one of the things that people need to do, whoever is a citizen in Nigeria listening to this broadcast, need to really think this way. I used to work for a guy who said, you know what, now that we've had all this discussion, that's all wonderful, but tomorrow morning when you wake up, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And the point is, you need to be able to answer that question. And for me, it comes down to three things. The first is you need to understand what's going on. What's going on in your village? Who are those strangers out in the... Who are they? What are they doing? You need to understand what's happening to you. You can't wait for somebody to tell you. When DSS has already said, you know what? You better take care of yourself. You know? Actually, I don't know if they really want to give us any good advice, but that's good advice. We need to take care of us. You need to get up and understand what's going on. The second thing you need to do is you need to have a plan. You need to start to think about, what am I going to do tomorrow morning? What's the plan? I need a plan. And the third thing you need to do is take it personal. Now, you might say, what's this white chief? How many white chiefs do you see with a red hat? Not too many. What's he doing? I want to tell you what I'm doing. Okay? What's important to me? You know, when it comes to understanding what's going on, we are all about, I spent 20 years understanding what's going on. And some people even pin the label on me, not big gay, but big eye for it. They said, boy, he knows a lot about the evil, that guy. Because I've spent 365 days on the ground. And in so doing, I learned what's really critical to the Igbo, to the ethnicity, to the ancestral evil. What's important to that person? Why are they the way they are? So I did that. And I started to understand by working with the people around, standing here and many others, I've learned all the ins and outs of what's driving, what's the history. What did the British do? How fumbled the ball so badly when they set this place up? How did that happen? And so I've learned about that. So I know what's going on. The second thing is I've got a plan. One thing I learned from my dad and God rest his soul, my dad was a Marine Corps Staff Sergeant. So you can imagine, as a young boy, my dad, he said, son, you're either going to be part of the problem or you're going to be part of the solution. And you know what? I've chosen, I think wisely, to be part of the solution is critical. And you know what? You as citizens need to be part of the solution. And you need to come up with it yourself. You know what? Just like DSS, they're not going to tell us what to do. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. You need to figure it out for yourself and then do it. And then the third thing is take it personal. Now, what have I been doing? You can tell just by the way I am. I take things personal. And when I come to this place behind me, and I spend a lot of time at the State Department as well, and as a group with Avid. Avid's a great organization. Avid, that group, we've spent a lot of time in the halls of Congress, knocking on the doors, talking with people. When we're with those people, what we're doing is we're taking them through the same 3 steps. The United States government, you actually don't understand what's going on in Africa. Listen to us. We'll tell you what's going on. It's an ancestral place. And what happens is when they abscond with somebody who's iconic in the society. I mean, Mazi Namikano is iconic. When they put somebody like that in chains and just throw away the key, which they've done, they've thrown away the key. We should be taking that personal. And once again, if they can do what they're doing with him, they're doing with us, and that's from the 40,000 Christians that they got on the run. There's another little bit of data you ought to know about. You know, all the people, and I bet there's hardly anybody in the region who hasn't been personally touched by disappearance. You've got friends, fellow villagers, and absconded, but they've been stolen. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. You know what's going on. Well, what happens is we need to tell.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Kai Lebu and Prince. Makumunai no ala Biafra. Kahawi can would that away wash. So I'm like it here. Etosa Uzia. Not a very, very important temper.
Any day this war break out and the United Kingdom send military aid to Nigeria,
Izota ala Biafra. When he was islands, I had him a Maduke Darian. So all the market to some message are very, very important. We are not here to intimidate anybody. What we are seeking is for our liberation. Ojimohera like Lembeli de Chirivula. Ozio Ototua, Maze Emmanuel Bright, you are welcome to the program. Koma Collins, you are welcome. Every ever young, famous, you are welcome. Sonny and Ezbo Madonyankem, you are highly welcome. Because on your blah program, try to share and let others see it. On your media, bo eto sozia. Understand? And when, there is nothing it takes you to share the program. It takes you nothing. Understand? You don't want to share means that you don't want to share. Here is where we worship. You know, by the time of Mass, and can say here on Radio Biafra is where we worship, and Biafra is our religion, and Biafra is our home. We have Biafra. So please support this movement. Fund Biafra liberation. Fund Biafra liberation. That is the only thing. If you are outside country, it's your duty and obligation to fund this liberation. It's we that will fund this movement. Nobody will do it for us. America will not do it for us. UK will not do it for us. European Union will not do it for us. You can imagine what they are doing to our young brother, Abraham Torre. Understand? Didi Ejiofor, all the Ejiofor, you are welcome. Gabriel, You are welcome to the program. Please share this program so others will partake. Imagine what they are doing to that our brother. Because of what? He wants freedom of his people. So they want to do Ibrahim Torre, the Burkina Faso president, what they do to Mama Gaddafi. But we say no. So every African need to stand up and support this young man. Every meaning African, every meaning Biafra need to stand up and support this our brother. He's our brother. It's only through leader sitting on the throne that enter that this thing we see in Africa. And everybody must support Abraham Torre to make sure that he liberates his people. Understand? Let us not allow what Western are doing to Mama Gaddafi, India Amin of Uganda, and many others to happen to him. Understand? Support him. He's a just freedom fighter like Mazen Nandekano and Mazen Simon Epa. Understand? He's the same freedom fighter, so we must support him. You can see under 2 years what he's turning to Burkina Faso into. Burkina Faso is going to be another Dubai in Africa. That is what that young man there is doing. So everybody must do everything. Those that have popularity, use that your popularity to do the needful by supporting people that need freedom. Understand? If Africa can join together to fight against those colonialism, the Western power that is they are opposing on us, I'm telling you, Africa is going to be great. You know what they are using, what they use against Mama Gaddafi is propaganda against him. But today, the eyes of Libya people have opened. Okay, ask me, since the Mama Gaddafi, Libya or the Lama, Libya won the president, he won the governor, he won the House of Assembly. Libya now is a jungle. The most beautiful place in Africa before. Or because of black man entered the Washington DC called Barack Obama. The mission and only target book image show Mama Gaddafi. Tag nonsense. They want to use it to Abraham Torre, and we say no. We love him. He's a good leader. He's leading by example. And his people have seen the good of the leadership. Okay, many years of France in Burkina Faso. Tell me one single achievement Burkina Faso have achieved. But today, Burkina Faso can boast of agriculture. Number one, they can now manage their gold by themselves. So they are now dictators, dictating all the way from Western, telling Africa what to do in their house. They are there, Nigeria government, which they are dictating the way Nigeria will be governed, went to Kenya and kidnapped our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They did nothing. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu hold the leader, the citizenship of British. So please, wake up, Biafrans. Support Biafra Liberation Army. Don't go buy whistle. Use that money and support Biafra Liberation. So tell the Fatima Musa Alematu Abubakar, aka Ngozi Olabeze, tell her to stop that nonsense. She's disgracing herself outside there in the social media. This mad woman no na Georgia, she turn this liberation bro inye eji make caricature. Eji our liberation make caricature, and then on there you are supporting her. I don't show this program. So everybody needs to stand up and stop that menace that woman is acting over there. Obozi aka nweta agolo tuta. Asim ko start amara gị mma. Ekele dere gị dịka ịla share. Let's share and let the message get sink inside our medulla oblongata. So we come again. You know, nowadays, more fundraising, more fundraising, or they are the Bramo here. ABMA program because we will stream it live. So that's why you are not seeing me nwekwa from ntolihu akwụkwọ, but nye abụ okele ọrụ dịrị mụ na gị. But I tell you one thing again, if you fail to fund this liberation, Chukwu ga-anapụkwa gị ego ahụ ị nwere were anya onye ọzọ buru obi ịfund this liberation. That is full assurance. But if it is liberation, we must fund it. Our commanders and generals, they are ready, they are good to go, they are ready to move. Understand? So that's why we need your fund. We need your fund to move this liberation. Yeah? APM so offer 1 million gemma a person fundraising. Then you try go down in this move. Try go down in this move. President. So we need to move and fight our fighter and destroy our destroyer. Kobo start amara anyị mma ka anyị wedebe ebe a ka onye chiri ya zere. Ọ bụla enwere ike izi zere ụmụnna gị zerekwa ndị iro ka ọ dịrị anyị mma. Obodo egbu anyị ka anyị si ka ogbuo onwe onye isi anyị na wad anyị si ka o were ike ya kwụ ụgwọ. Ọ chụpụrụ anya afọ anyị siri isi ga-ekpu ya. Ọ kpụrụ olu anyị asị ya were nke ya resụ mbụ mmụọ. Ọ chere anyị ndụ bịara, ọ chere anyị ọnwụ mbara ya. Ọ nọkwana na-akpara anyị nkata ọjọọ, anyị sị ọ kpacha nkata ga-ekpugide ya. Ọ nọla egburu anyị ile, anyị sị na ọ ga-egburu n'ụzọ daa ile ime ya maka na Ojiọfọ ga-ala, maka na ọ bụ egbu Ojiọfọ ka anyị laalụ. Ọ bụrụ na ihe mbere ebe a bụ ka egbusi ụmụnne m, ndị na-egbu mmadụ fụkwa m ha gbuo m, mana ọ bụrụ na ihe mbere ebe a bụ ka nzọpụta ụmụnne m ndụ, a sị m ndị ya na-egbu mmadụ na ha majikwa anya afụ m, ha mafụdị m anya maka na anya na ntị adịghị afụ, mgbọrọgwụ adịghị akpa azụ ọkpa, adịghị eje ụnyaahụ eje. Anyị asọ hapụrụ igukwu ọmụ nkwụ, anyị sị aka ga ogwu. Ihe mbere ebe a bụ as a freedom fighter, they use my media to give information to our people. Ụlọ ọ ga-adịrị gị la mma. Aka ọbụla share this message, they share to TikTok, they share Instagram, they share Twitter, they share WhatsApp, they share Facebook, they share everywhere share ya. Asị m na aka ga abịa ya goziri agozi. Aka ga abịa ya goziri agozi maka oribe enye nwanne ya nke o ga-eri ama aka ya. Asị na nke ọ bụla ị na-eri ama akọ gị. Ọfọ ndụ ka nna agọla isi gị, nna agọrọ ọfọ ọgaliro. So ụtụtụ ụbọchị echi niile na ihe ị ga-eri ama akọ gị, n'ihi eri ama akọ gị la Eke, ọmakọ gị la Orie, ọmakọ gị la Afọ, ọmakọ gị la Nkwọ. Asị m ọ chere gị ọnwụ ya buru ọkụ ụzọ lakpuo ụra maka onwere onye chere. Chukwu okike abịa ma eze pụrụ m ihe niile, eze lekpesara ọgwụ. Asị m ndị ele abịa igbuchi ụmụnne anyị, ndị ele abịa ala anyị egbu anyị. Asị m na ụbọchị ọbụla ha kpara ụkwụ ala Biafra, ha ga-abụkwa ozu nwa anwụ, ga-ebu ha n'ozu werela maka na ọ bụ oge Ojiọfọ ka anyị la ahụ. Asị m ndị niile na-atụ ego na ije nwere onwe, asị m na akpa nna ga-eju, Chukwu ga-ewere ego fojuo na akpa. Ọfọma ka m na-agọla isi gị wee sị na ọ ga-adịrị gị la mma, ọ ga-agazikwara gị, ọ ga-agaziri ezinụlọ gị. Ihe ị ga-eri ama akọ gị, ihe ị ga-eji zụọ ụmụ ama akọ gị. Ndụ nka ọfọsọrọ ibia ree, nye ọma mere m mere gị, nye ọma mere gị mere m. Mana okporo olu ga-asị, okporo olu m asị ya were nke ya resị ụmụ mmụọ. Asị m Ngozi Ọrabaeze, ọma dịrị gị la mma. Ihe mere na ọma dịrị gị la mma bụ na ị chere ụmụ Biafra ọnwụ ahụ ọ gị ga-eketa ya n'ezinụlọ gị. Maka anyị kwesịrị ịbụ ndị na-azọ ndebe anyị ndụ, anyị ama bụ ndị na-edebe ndebe anyị ọnụ ọnwụ. Ụmụ Biafra, ya gaziere ọnụ, ya gaziere nne na Eke, gaziere nne na Orie, gaziere nne na Afọ, gaziere nne na Nkwọ. Ọnụrụ ya ka ori ibi ya maka na ọ bụ ozi ọma nke Chineke ka anyị na-ezi. Mgbana ka ihe ọma mee na ndụ anyị, mekwa na ndụ gị, kara enwedị onye anyị mejọrọ and enwedịkwana onye anyị si mkpụrụ nke ọla akọ ya garara ya. Ihe anyị ma bụ mkpụrụ ọbụla onye kụrụ ka ọ ji agọrọ, nke ị kụrụ ka ị ji agọrọ, nke m kụrụ ka m ji agọrọ. So onye gbugbo achịrị onye gbugbe, onye akpọrọ ibi onye nkori. Asị m ya gaziere anyị. Ihe ka m kwuru n'aha Chukwu na eziokwu na ọdịnala ọfụma ise ọdịnala ọfọ. So try to share this message. Let the message